Jarrell Big Baby Miller, for the first time after failing a drug test, the Anthony Joshua fight is canceled, speaks to the public and tells his side. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, this whole situation in the heavyweight division is a mess. You had Wilder, who was supposed to fight Fury in a rematch. Tyson Fury jumped ship. He went over to ESPN. You know, fight with Wilder and Joshua fell apart. Never happened. And we think Anthony Joshua is about to fight Jarrell Miller. News broke that Jarrell Big Baby Miller tested positive for a component, a banned substance. And now his fight got canceled. He can't get a license in New York, where the fight was supposed to happen, Madison Square Garden. Now, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Big Baby Miller, he speaks for the first time to his fans and, you know, the people who want to hear his side of the story. He didn't say too much, but we're gonna go over that. This is his verified account, as you guys seen earlier. He posted a picture of him. This is what he had to say. I want to thank all of my supporters who have stood by me since day one, and especially during this extremely difficult time. I have not been tuned in to social media and any other media outlets to focus and channel all of my energies into working hard with no distractions. I am absolutely devastated upon hearing the news my boxing license has been revoked in New York State. That's where he's from. He's from Brooklyn. I have never knowingly taken any substance that was banned, any banned substance. And when I found out the news last night, I was totally shocked. My team and I stand for integrity, decency, and honesty. And together we will stand to fight this with everything we have. This was a voluntary test that I was very happy to do. And these results came just 1 week after another voluntary test that I had taken, which was completely clean. I refuse to just lie down and let my dream be taken away from me when I know in my heart that I've done nothing wrong. 15 years of hard work, I'm a warrior. I don't need a banned substance. Remember, don't believe everything you hear and see. The facts will prevail and I shall be vindicated. It's supposed to be vindicated, but it says vindicate. I don't have anything to hide and the truth will make itself known. Listen, you know, this is a complicated scenario because, you know, let's just be real. I'm just being honest. Jarrell Miller's my dude, but you know, it's a complicated situation. For starters, what is in his system, I didn't really know much about that particular component, but it sounds like some hardcore shit. So you or your team, you know, I don't think it's something that could just fall on the, like Canelo, you know, Francisco Vargas, Eric Morales, guys who have failed drug tests and were able to compete, because there's known documented cases of the quality control in Mexico with the meat. You know, you might have something in it because of what they're using at the ranches. This particular compound, component, chemical, from what I was reading, they said they tested on rats and they noticed the rats were developing cancer. So it sounds like some hardcore shit that nobody should really even voluntarily be trying to take. So they're ranchers and farmers and stuff, they're not going to knowingly, you know, put this in their cattle. The whole reason they give the cattle clenbuterol and different things like that is it helps with breathing, and you know, it might make the product more sellable or, you know, bulk out. It's just like people who flip dope and then they cut the dope, you know, it's the same concept. You know, you could stretch the dope, you have a certain amount, and then you could add a filler to give it some body, you know, without ODing on it. And then when you cut something in, now you have more to sell. You get what I'm saying? So the ranchers are smart in that regard. They're not like the people who are using clenbuterol. using something that, you know, makes their product more sellable. But from what I was reading about this GWS 1516 or whatnot, this is actually was killing mice. So that's not really something farmers would give. And, you know, if there's been no other documented cases like an outbreak in New York or whatever, then it, you know, it becomes one of those situations where it's like, you know, because when restaurants go through this, like I remember at one point, I think Roma tomatoes, they stopped serving them because there was like these outbreaks and people were getting violently sick, maybe even dying and stuff. Same thing with romaine lettuce. So they pulled them from the shelf because there was multitudes of people checking into hospitals with stomach viruses and stuff after eating, you know, at Chipotle or whatever. And then they determined it was E. coli, stuff like that. So unless there's, you know, collectively people from the same area who are testing with this, or, you know, showing this is showing up in screenings and tests, it becomes hard. Now, I don't know the details. I don't know. I'm just going off of, you know, I'm a realist. He tested positive for this stuff. The other thing is, for all athletes out there, you have to, this fight, they said he was going to get 6 to 8 million easy, you know, maybe even more depending on the success of the event. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't even understand why these athletes are even taking anything. The other thing that makes these situations hard is there's companies that will actually screen. They'll screen the products you take. So if your team is new, or if your team doesn't know, blah, 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 you can actually take it to certain places and companies, and they can allow you and let you know. I think VADA does it too. Like, if you submit something. So it just doesn't make sense how these fighters test positive in most situations, because even taking supplements, you could get that tested. And I don't want to put him on blast, but I'm pretty sure when I was talking to Andre Ward, he said something to me that basically he had to pay thousands of dollars or whatever, you know, whatever the amount was, to make sure he had proper camps and everything's on the up and up, you know. So I've talked to fighters who had out-of-pocket expenses trying to make sure their big fights, like his fight was Kovalev, you know, everything was on the up and up to show people, you know, I'm moving up to light heavyweight, I'm beating this guy clean, fair and square. So, you know, I'm gonna read what people are saying. And what about an apology to AJ, you selfish cheating cunt? Wow, this is the second time now. Oh, that's the other thing, is this, he's already tested positive for something, and like his response didn't really say anything about that, you know. So you know, there's only so much that people just, it's like the boy who cried wolf, you know. Even if it is true, the fact that it's happened more than once, people are going to look at it like the boy who cried wolf. When the kid really, in the story, in the fable, when the kid really seen a wolf, nobody believed him because he was crying wolf. You get what I'm saying? So that's just, you know, I had a teacher when I was young, and they told me ego, perception is reality. And I'm like, man, that's it. If I didn't do something is I didn't do it, you know, fuck that. And I was young and naive, but the older I get, I see, you know, perception is reality. The reality is there was something in this screening. You can try to fight it, like he's saying, with the B sample, and we'll see what happens. I'm sure his name will get cleared if that's the case, but, you know, posting about it on the Instagram, that's not necessarily going to clear your name. Like, just say, we're going to fight this, you know, are you going to test the B sample, stuff like that? Because if we don't hear about the B sample being opened up and tested, and, you know, him being like retested, all types of stuff like that, then I don't know how he's going to clear his name from this. It's crazy. And see, the other thing that makes it hard, like, you know, I'm not trying to come down Jarrell Miller, that's my dude, you know what I'm saying? But this is not a good look, you know, it's not a good situation that anybody would want to be in. Pussy, wow, people, just look what people are saying. And he accused AJ of being on something. But beyond that, beyond the fact, you know, getting your stuff tested, these fighters, especially for big fights, you know, if you know you stand to make $7-8 million, you know, by completing a certain task or job, and it's really more than $7-8 million, because that's just what I heard he was going to get for this fight. If he beat AJ, I'm pretty sure there's a rematch clause in there. I mean, in fact, I know there's a rematch clause in there. So you would stand as a guy who beat AJ and took the belts or knocked him out or whatever. You stand to make money in the rematch too. So it's a lot of money left on the table. So for me, I just feel like if I was the fighter, I'm not even going to be on any kind of supplements or, I'm going to cross my T's and dot my I's. I just would have to, because you keep seeing in the UFC, TJ Dillashaw, and like I said, perception is reality. People are looking at it as if like, damn, this is a big Goliath, a 6'4", 315, 317 pound man throwing 100 punches around, and he's been getting some stoppages and wins, and he has a failed drug test, in the past. So if, I'm not trying to, like I said, kick a man while he's down, but if that doesn't raise eyebrows, then of course, I don't know, that you just have to understand the perception. You accuse Joshua of juicing, the whatever the GWS is saying, that it's for your endurance, so you can do more, push harder, and then you have a style that, it kind of lines up. So whether it's true or not, this is just a bad position to be in. You get what I'm saying? It's just a real bad position to be in. Crazy. Now DAZN, I don't know what they're gonna do. A lot of people are throwing out Adam Kaunowski. He already said he's not fighting him, and he's friends with Jarrell Miller, so he's not gonna step in last minute. But beyond that, they said it's see, it says Big Baby is America's #1. This is not a good look. It's a bad look. That's the only way to say it. Huge opportunity, huge missed opportunity. He was on the right track, undefeated in boxing, and this is a major setback. Now he has to try to clear his name, and I don't know how you even go about doing that when the test is already out there. Like I said, unless you open up the B sample, but if the B sample shows what the A sample showed, then that doesn't really help your cause. If anything, that would hurt your cause. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know. We'll have to see how this all plays out. Let this be a lesson to fighters. They gotta know what's going into their body. Pause. They gotta know, because whether, like, let's say it's true or not, the actions and the results and the damage is already done. You feel what I'm saying? Like, let's say it's not true, hypothetically. I'm not saying this is my opinion. I'm saying hypothetically, just playing devil's advocate. Let's say it's not true. The damage is still done. Your reputation gets tarnished. People start leaving you evil comments. You lost out on the biggest payday of your career, which would have, if you beat him, spawned another high payday, and you would have had the belts and the championship, and people are putting asterisks by some of your other wins, Gerald Washington, things like that. To me, it's not worth it. Whether you have to give up protein shakes, Jamba Juice, whatever, it doesn't seem worth it to even be taking supplements or having a team. Like, you have to know your team. You have to know everything. Everything has to be 100% professional team. And I know, and I'm not saying this team is negligible. I don't know what happened here, but all I'm saying is you have to cross your T's and dot your I's, because it's too much you stand to lose if it's not done correctly, as this is the case. Or you were cheating and you were trying to get a unfair advantage because you knew Joshua was a gold medalist, big dude, and you were up against it, so you wanted to be in the best, most ready shape. So it doesn't really, no matter which way you slice it, it's still not a good look. So let this be a lesson. The fighters, they have to know what's going in their body, period. There's people like Floyd Mayweather, 22-year career, undefeated, never had this. And don't tell me about no fucking rehydration IV. That's not a PED. See, and there's a lot of people that old media, they quote this stupid shit. A rehydration IV, you could get that at the hospital. I was in the hospital last year because I had pneumonia. They gave me an IV. You know what I'm saying? That's just putting fluids back in your body. And that used to be actually allowed, like certain amount of fluid in your body in boxing. De La Hoya had an IV rehydration, like IV, after the Pacquiao weigh-in because he killed himself to make weight. But once again, a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing. But anyway, these fighters just have to be cautious, tread lightly. This is the biggest fight of their careers, the biggest moment, big payday, could spawn another big payday. It's just not worth it. So I wouldn't even be taking any supplements. And then if I did take a supplement, I'd be fully aware, make sure my team's aware, or just put someone in charge. If I got to focus on the sparring and the, running and, lifting and all that stuff, then just have a dedicated team and someone who dedicated that knows what they're doing so this doesn't happen, because even the fact that it happens is damage enough. Like Willie Monroe, you've seen what people said about him. I ain't really heard from him since the Charlo thing. Billy Joe Saunders, he failed a drug test. TJ Dillashaw, people are going to start already, like I said, perception is reality, and a couple things he said in this that didn't really make sense to me personally in this apology or whatnot. He said he's away from social media. He said, I have never, in caps, he said, I have never knowingly taken any banned substance. When I found out the news, I was totally shocked. So I don't know. I don't know what that means. Like, you didn't knowingly. So did someone like frame you, or your team gave you some shit and trying to get you prepared? That's why you have to know who's in your corner and stuff like that. And the other thing that makes it hard is, like, most of these cases, you don't usually see the person, even if they get caught red-handed. Most of the time people say this, they say, I didn't knowingly take anything. That's just like the most common thing to say. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure if people are speeding on the freeway and the cop pulls them over, do you know how fast you're going? Oh, I didn't realize I was going so fast. That's probably what everyone says. So even for the people who really didn't know that particular rationale or reasoning, I'm sure the cops hear it all the time, even by cheaters. So it's like, you can't really go off of that. Just a bad look, man. DAZN, I don't know what they're gonna do. I know a lot of people are hyped thinking it's gonna be Luis Ortiz. It's not gonna be no one like that, trust me. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Sucks, everyone's looking forward to the fight, or a lot of people were. Now we're not getting it. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Jarrell Miller, that's his side of it. I don't know how he's plans on proving it wrong, or going against VADA, because I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure they have some type of process in order where they check and double check. So I don't even know how you would go about that. He said he's going to clear his name, but like I said, the damage is already done in these situations, because even if you clear your name, you already missed out on the AJ paycheck, or at least for next, and you have to endure everything else. And then, like I said, with having a prior failed drug test doesn't really help. So, all these guys that have a prior, like Luis Ortiz has one, Dillian White has one, Jarrell Miller has one, Andre Wawowski, Alexander Povetkin. It's like everybody's on thin ice, because this is the heavyweight division. And it seems like there's a lot of people who have been busted for having something in their system that wasn't supposed to be there. So, I really think the fighters, like, how does this keep happening? They're going to eventually get to a point where they start having lifetime bans and stuff like that, and get real strict, because fighters always pretty much say the same thing. There's only been a handful of fighters that kind of said, oh yeah, I was doing I think TJ Dillashaw might have, but I know Kenneth Briggs, shout out to him, he said he was on testosterone. He said, I was on test, my bad, I don't know why, I shouldn't have did it, blah blah blah. But most people aren't gonna say, oh yeah, you got me, so it's a shitty situation. Shitty for boxing, definitely shitty for Jarrell Miller. DAZN leaves AJ without a proper dance partner, and they're gonna have to try to save the event with DAZN raised his prices. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Do you believe Jarrell Miller? Do you not believe it? All that good stuff in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.